Hello, my dear friends. And uh, Here we are again, or I should say that I'm reaching out to you again and wanting to share some thoughts with you. And uh, I was these scriptures in Isaiah really struck something in me that made me want to share these thoughts with you. And it's about bringing reproach upon God's name. Who are really bringing reproach upon God's name? Who are identifying themselves by God's name and as his witnesses? Is it not Jehovah's Witnesses? They put themselves up on a pedestal and claim to be God's people. But how does Jehovah God view them and all the others like them? We know who the symbolic seven-headed wild beast is and who represent the seven major empires that have had dealings with God's people, beginning with Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, Rome, and today the Anglo-American dual world powers. And then we are told that there is an eighth king, which is to come. Have you recently wondered where we are today according to Bible prophecy? I'm sure that you have. I believe that we are at the point in history when God is going to bring woe to all those harming and oppressing and causing so much pain and suffering and injustice to his people. Regarding God bringing woe and identifying those who bring reproach upon his name, let's take a look at Isaiah chapter 10 and verses 1 to 34. Beginning with 1, it says, "Woe to those who enact harmful regulations," excuse me, "who constantly draft oppressive decrees." Well, we know only too well who enact harmful regulations, such as the two-witness rule, such as shunning, such as no blood transfusions to save lives, such as no service in the army, not even substitute work that would not involve any unchristian behavior. Verse 2, to deny the legal claim of the poor, to deprive the lowly among my people of justice, making widows their spoil and fatherless children their plunder. Thousands upon thousands of children have suffered at the hands of the watchtower, who have done everything to hide, to cover up their crimes, to put their hand over the mouth of children crying in agony and terror and fear and despair. They have turned away from all sorts of abuse suffered by women and children, sexual, physical, mental, spiritual. They have prevented and denied justice to their victims by paying out millions in out-of-court settlements in order to keep the truth from being exposed by the media and the courts. Civil court actions are not criminal, and the guilty are not sent to jail. Once a criminal court makes a ruling, all the evidence becomes public and leaves no room to claims that these are lies and not crimes, admitted to in court by elders and by elders who did not report the pedophiles, but instead put them in trusted positions with other defenseless children. Verse 3, what will you do on the day of reckoning, when destruction comes from afar? To whom will you flee for assistance, and where will you leave your wealth? Will wealth be of any help to these who are about to receive their deserved punishment from God? Number 4, nothing remains except to crouch among the prisoners or to fall among the slain. In view of all this, his anger has not turned back, but his hand is still stretched out to strike. Number 5, aha, the Assyrian, the rod to express my anger and the staff in their hand for my denunciation. Number 6, I will send him against an apostate nation, against the people who infuriated me. I will command him to take much spoil and much plunder, and to trample them like mud in the streets. An apostate nation, my understanding is that this is going to be the billions in the entire world who have infuriated God. When God decides to punish the entire world and to trample them like mud in the streets, you know that this is fury as we have never seen before and will never see again. Number 7, but he will not be inclined this way, and his heart will not scheme this way, for it is in his heart to annihilate, to cut off many nations, not a few. For he says, are not my princes all kings? Is not Calno just like Karshemish? Is not Hamath like Arpad? Is not Samaria like Damascus? My hand has seized the kingdoms of the worthless gods, whose graven images were more than those of Jerusalem and Samaria. Will I not also do to Jerusalem her idols, just as I have done to Samaria and to her worthless gods? What are the false gods that people worship today? We have Christendom, 1.9 billion. Islam, or the Muslim religion or cult, 1.8 billion. Hinduism, 1.7 billion. Buddhism, 400 plus million. When Jehovah finishes all his work on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, he will punish the king of Assyria for his insolent heart and his proud, arrogant gaze. 13. For he says, I will do this by the strength of my hand and with my wisdom, for I am wise. I will remove the boundaries of peoples and pillage their treasures. Who is removing boundaries today? Boundaries are also, today we call them borders. And I will subdue the inhabitants like a mighty one, like a man reaching into a nest. My hand will seize the resources of the people, and like one gathering abandoned eggs, I will gather the whole earth. No one will flutter his wings or open his mouth to chirp. 15. Will the axe exalt itself over the one who chops with it? Will the saw exalt itself over the one who saws with it? Could a staff wave the one who lifts it? Or could a rod lift up the one who is not made of wood? Therefore, the true Lord, Jehovah of armies, will inflict emaciation on his fat ones, and beneath his glory he will kindle a blazing fire. Israel's light will become a fire, and his Holy One a flame. It will blaze up and consume his weeds and his thorn bushes in one day. He will utterly do away with the glory of his forest and his orchard, and will be as when a sick man wastes away. The rest of the trees of his forest will be so few that a boy could list them. In that day, those remaining in Israel and the survivors of the house of Jacob will no longer support themselves on the one who struck them, but they will support themselves on Jehovah, the Holy One of Israel, with faithfulness. Only a remnant will return, the remnant of Jacob, to the mighty God. For though your people, O Israel, are as the grains of the sand of the sea, only a remnant of them will return. An extermination has been decided on, and justice will engulf them. Yes, the extermination decided on by the sovereign Lord, Jehovah of armies, will be carried out in the entire land. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord, Jehovah of armies, says: Do not be afraid, my people, who are dwelling in Zion, because of the Assyrian, who used to strike you with the rod and to lift up his staff against you, as Egypt did. For in a very little while, the denunciation will come to an end. My anger will be directed to their destruction. Jehovah of armies will brandish a whip against him, as when he defeated Midian by the rock Oreb. And his staff will be over the sea, and he will raise it, as he did with Egypt. In that day his load will depart from on your shoulder, and his yoke from your neck, and the yoke will be broken because of the oil. He has come to Ayath, he has passed through Migron. At Mishmash, he deposits his baggage. They have passed over the ford. They spent the night at Geba. Ramah trembles. Gibeah of Saul has fled. Cry out and scream, O daughter of Gilam. Pay attention, O Laishach. O poor Anna, thought. Madmenah has run away. The inhabitants of Gebim have sought shelter. This very day he will halt in Nob. He shakes his fist at the mountain of the daughter of Zion, the hill of Jerusalem. Look, the true Lord Jehovah of armies is chopping off branches with a terrible crash. The tallest trees are being cut down, and the lofty are brought low. He strikes down the thickest of the forest with an iron tool, and Lebanon will fall by a mighty one. So this message is very simple. We can only rely on Jehovah for our salvation. It is not the globalists or the elite that we must fear. It is only Jehovah that we must fear, meaning to do what is wrong in Jehovah's eyes. I hope that you will go to Isaiah yourself and read these, and maybe you will come away with much more than what I'm sharing here with you. And I hope that you will share your thoughts in the comments below this video. And Isaiah shared a lot with us that we can refer to in prophecy of our current day, and what is happening today. So thank you, my friends, for giving a listen to my thoughts, and I hope that you will share yours as well. And until the next time, I wish you all the very best.